For the past 7 days, I replaced my laptop completely with an iPad. No backup computer, no emergency switching back, just the iPad as my one and only machine for work, editing, emails, scripting, meetings, and everything else in my daily tech YouTuber life. And I wanted to answer one simple question. Can an iPad actually replace a laptop in 2026? Now for context, I usually work on a high-performance laptop. I edit 4K video, manage multiple browser tabs, run productivity tools, handle sponsorship emails, design thumbnails, write scripts, jump into Zoom calls, and manage cloud storage. So this wasn't going to be a light test. This was real-world pressure. Day 1 started with optimism. I connected the iPad to a Magic Keyboard and a Bluetooth mouse. Immediately, it felt promising. The hardware is premium. It's thin, lightweight, insanely portable. Carrying it around the house felt effortless compared to my heavier laptop. The battery life was also impressive right from the start. I began my morning routine the same way I normally do, email triage. Using Gmail and Apple Mail on iPad OS felt smooth. Split View allowed me to have my inbox open on one side and my calendar on the other. At first glance, multitasking seemed capable. I could drag and drop attachments, respond quickly, and organize labels. No major issues there. Typing on the keyboard felt nearly identical to a laptop. That part passed easily. Then I moved into research mode. I opened Safari and started digging into articles for my next video. Here's where things started to feel slightly different. Even though iPad OS supports multiple tabs and window resizing, it doesn't quite feel like desktop-class browsing. Some websites default to mobile versions unless you force desktop mode. Extensions are limited compared to Chrome on macOS or Windows. My workflow normally relies on certain browser extensions for keyword tracking and analytics, and those just weren't available. I had to find workarounds, which slowed me down. By day 2, I jumped into script writing. I usually write in Google Docs, sometimes in Notion. Both apps are available on iPad, and honestly, they worked surprisingly well. The touchscreen actually made scrolling and highlighting feel more natural. I could quickly annotate ideas with the Apple Pencil. That felt like a genuine advantage. On a laptop, I don't normally have that level of direct interaction with my content. But multitasking still required mental adjustment. On a laptop, I can have 5 windows overlapping and switch instantly. On iPad, Stage Manager helps, but it doesn't feel as fluid. There's a slight friction when resizing windows or grouping apps. It's usable, just not seamless. The real test began on day 3 when it was time to edit video. I use professional-grade software for my YouTube videos. On the iPad, I switched to a mobile-optimized editing app that supports 4K timelines. Importing footage from an external SSD worked fine thanks to USB-C. File transfer speeds were solid. That part impressed me. Editing, however, was a mixed experience. Scrubbing through footage with touch gestures felt intuitive. Cutting clips with finger taps was quick, but once I layered multiple tracks, added transitions, color grading, and background music, I started noticing limitations. Rendering took longer than I'm used to on my laptop. Certain advanced plugins simply don't exist on the iPad version. Keyboard shortcuts were also more limited. Muscle memory from years of laptop editing didn't fully translate. Still, I managed to complete a full video edit entirely on the iPad. It took about 20% longer than my normal workflow, but it was possible. That's important. Possible doesn't mean ideal, but it does mean viable. Day 4 was all about meetings and communication. Zoom, Slack, Discord, FaceTime, they all work flawlessly on iPad. In fact, the front-facing camera quality and speaker clarity were excellent. The portability allowed me to move around the house during calls. I even joined one meeting from my backyard. Battery life was still strong, lasting most of the day without needing a charge. In this category, the iPad arguably felt superior because of its flexibility. However, file management became slightly frustrating. iPad OS has improved significantly with its Files app, but it still doesn't feel as robust as Finder or Windows Explorer. Moving large batches of files between folders, organizing external drives, and managing project assets required extra steps. On a laptop, I can quickly drag files across multiple open folders. On iPad, it's more structured and slightly slower. Day 5 exposed another weakness: external monitor support. When I connected the iPad to a large monitor, it worked, but the experience wasn't identical to plugging in a laptop. Some apps scaled strangely. Window management still felt like a tablet pretending to be a desktop, rather than truly becoming one. It's functional, but not fully transformative. That said, portability remained unbeatable. I took the iPad to a coffee shop on day 6. Carrying it felt almost like holding a notebook. Boot up time is instant, there's no fan noise, it's silent, cool, and discreet. Writing scripts in a cafe environment felt amazing. The battery lasted the entire session without anxiety. For creators who travel frequently, this lightweight setup is incredibly appealing. Throughout the week, I noticed something interesting about focus. The iPad feels less cluttered than a laptop. Because it's slightly more limited, it reduces the temptation to open dozens of random apps. My workflow became more intentional. I focused on 1 or 2 tasks at a time. That simplicity might actually increase productivity for some people. Gaming and entertainment deserve mention too. During downtime, the iPad felt like a premium media device. Watching YouTube, Netflix, and reviewing footage was immersive thanks to the high-resolution display. It doubled as both work machine and entertainment hub without compromise. But there were moments when I genuinely missed my laptop. Advanced multitasking, heavy browser workflows, complex file structures, and high-end editing still feel smoother on a traditional computer. The iPad can mimic those tasks, but it doesn't always feel native to them. By day 7, I had fully adapted. My hands knew the gestures, my brain adjusted to Stage Manager, I developed small shortcuts to compensate for missing features. And that adaptation is key. The iPad demands a slightly different mindset. If you try to force it to behave exactly like a laptop, you'll feel friction. If you lean into its strengths, touch interaction, portability, battery life, simplicity, it shines. So, can an iPad replace a laptop in 2026? The honest answer is, it depends on who you are. If you're a student writing papers, browsing, attending classes, editing light videos, and managing social media, absolutely, it can replace your laptop. If you're a remote worker handling emails, meetings, cloud documents, and moderate multitasking, yes, it can work. But if you're a developer running complex environments, a designer using full desktop Adobe suites, or a heavy video editor working with advanced plugins and massive timelines, you'll likely still prefer a traditional laptop. For me, as a tech YouTuber, the iPad handled about 80 to 85% of my workflow without serious compromise. That remaining 15% required patience and occasional frustration. That gap matters. When you're producing content on tight deadlines, speed and flexibility are critical. What surprised me most wasn't the limitations, it was how capable the iPad has become. A few years ago, this experiment would have failed completely. Today, it's not only possible, it's practical for many people. The future of computing feels like it's blending categories. The line between tablet and laptop is thinner than ever. The iPad isn't just a consumption device anymore. It's a legitimate productivity machine, just with a different philosophy. After 7 days, I switched back to my laptop, and I immediately felt the raw power and familiarity return. But I also missed the iPad's portability and elegance. That tells me something important. The iPad didn't fail, it simply serves a different type of workflow. If you value flexibility, mobility, and simplicity, the iPad might be all you need. If you demand maximum power and unrestricted software environments, the laptop still wins. This experiment changed how I see my tech setup. Instead of asking whether one device should replace the other, maybe the smarter approach is understanding which tool fits which moment. For quick scripting sessions, travel days, meetings, and light edits, I would happily grab the iPad again. For heavy editing days and heavy multitasking, I'll stick with my laptop. Technology isn't about replacement anymore, it's about optimization, and the iPad has earned its place as more than just a secondary device. 7 days, 1 iPad, no laptop safety net, and the result is clear. We're closer than ever to tablets becoming primary computers, but we're not completely there yet. And honestly, that's what makes this era of tech so interesting.